Welcome to Inside Israel. I'm flying solo today. Yesterday, Michael went to the rally in D.C., so we're going to see some footage that he took there, interviewing some people. He's going to be asking people what their message would be for the world. This episode is all about unity. It's about togetherness and oneness and all the Jewish people coming together, a common theme that we've been seeing here in Israel and now in the United States. We will also catch up with Michael at the end of the show via Zoom to hear some of his reflections on his trip and the rally. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Here's a beautiful clip. I'm just going to read it to you. After the YU hockey team played Syracuse University, Saul Feder saw an opportunity. Cohen was the name of the opposing player's jersey. Saul asked if he was Jewish, inviting him to the locker room with the YU guys, the hockey team there.
Israel, Adonai, Eloheinu, Adonai, Echad. Yeah!
Beautiful thing. Okay, another clip. This is very interesting. When was the last time you saw a chassid waving an Israeli flag? And this just epitomizes really what's going on in Israel, the feeling of unity, of togetherness. We're all facing this existential threat and everyone's doing what they can, whether it be on the front lines or in the base medrash, in the study hall. Unity is palpable here in Israel. And sometimes when you see people wanting to be together, the unifying together, it's contagious. In fact, check out this clip from the Montana farmers. They got on the plane to come help out the farmers here in Eretz Israel.
Montana. I'm Ezekiel Strain and I'm from Montana. Hey y'all, I'm Luke Hutzler and I'm from Huntsville, Arkansas.
My name's Joseph, I'm from Montana. I'm here to serve Israel.
We're just here to serve Israel any way we can during the hard time here and the struggle against Hamas just out in the West Bank, Judea and Samaria. Just serving people whatever way we can help. So.
Here's another clip showing the reunion of husbands and wives and parents and children after spending a month on the front lines in the uncertainty of war, but now home safe and sound before they go back.
בקרוב תזרח השמש, נדע ימים יפים מאלה, הלב נלחם בדאגות. כולם יחזרו הביתה, נחכה להם למטה, הלוואי נדע בשורות טובות. כי עם הנצח לעולם לא מפחד, אפילו כשקשה לראות. כולם ביחד, אף אחד פה לא בודד, שישרפו המלחמות. עם ישראל חי, אם לא נשכח תמיד להיות מאוחדים. עם ישראל חי, בעליות בירידות.
Shai thinks of everything. He was the guy, remember, that brought in the laundromat, and now he's brought in the jacuzzis.
Guys, we're not stopping the portable spa for the soldiers that just came out of Gaza. Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Le'am Yisrael. We're just warming up.
Shai, if you're watching this, let me know if you want to come visit us in the studio. We'd love to see you and visit with you and just tap into your greatness. Okay, check this out. Tzarchi Barda was in Tel Aviv. I'm just going to read you the tweet here. I ate with a friend at a Mora Mio restaurant. There was a table of 6 soldiers who enjoyed every bite. So I approached the waiter and told him I wanted to put 300 shekels on their table and not to inform them of anything so they wouldn't feel uncomfortable. We approached the charming host to make sure it was okay. He hugged me tightly with excitement and he said, listen to this. He said, thank you very much, but you're already the 5th person to approach me and ask to pay for their table. We have a winning people. That epitomizes the sentiment of Israelis today. People in Israel are so appreciative of the soldiers who are out there. It's tough. It's tough to really identify, what it feels like to be in a war zone. And what I mean by that is, like, even on 9/11, for example, when all the bombings were happening, all the terrorist attacks happened on 9/11. I remember driving down the highway and seeing everybody's honking their horns. There's flags everywhere, but that was still on like sort of safe ground in a certain sense. The terrorist attacks were happening, but the war would be fought far, far away. Here, you know, Tel Aviv is an hour away from Gaza. It's all hands on deck, and not everybody is, say, on the front lines with guns. Many people are actually doing what they can behind the scenes. Check out this clip from Cafe Roma in Beit Shemesh, where they're making 10,000 sandwiches every single day.
This sniff is responsible for 10,000 sandwiches a day for the soldiers. People come every day till 4 o'clock and pack sandwiches for the soldiers.
Okay, this, I don't know if I'm going to have to blur out some of the names on this one, but it's a very funny joke at least, you know. Look at this. Israeli Americans, here's my insurance policy against being taken hostage by Hamas, the IRS. Believe me, they will never mavater. They will never give up on a single penny. They will hunt me down, find me, and personally escort me out of Gaza. Wow. Okay, Yehuda and Rivka, great job on that one. What foresight. Tremendous foresight there. Hopefully you won't get taken into Gaza, though. It's a nasty place. If you can't laugh, it's crazy times. Okay, here we go. And there's another one. Look at this. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Shabbat Shalom from Gaza. The army played over loudspeakers Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, which is something that every young boy and girl know from a very early age. This was done by the soldiers in an effort to let the hostages know that they're close. Imagine a person sitting there and they could hear someone saying Shema Yisrael, the encouragement, the strength, who knows where they're holding, and this hopefully would give them an extra boost. And sure enough, the IDF released this video of them going in and finding actual quarters underneath one of the hospitals where the hostages were allegedly being held.
It's 200 yards from the hospital of D.C. Next to his house, there is a tunnel. We are now in the area of the basement of the hospital. We're now entering into the room where we suspect the hostages were being held. I want you to look at this room. People are putting curtains with nothing above, just wall. No reason to put here a curtain unless you want to film hostages and deliver movies. And now we'll show you more evidence. It's a baby bottle in a basement. See diapers, a rope next to the legs. This is a Guardian list where every terrorist writes his name and every terrorist has his own shift guarding the people that were here.
When these soldiers got back, they had no idea what hit them, meaning Shai hit them again with the most beautiful spread.
Hi everyone, so we're here with the soldiers that came out of Gaza. We brought everything here today, from the laundries, from the showers, from the spa, from the beds, and of course a lot of food and fun and music to give them the koach to continue to go back in and to win this.
לעילוי נשמת כל החללים, יהי זכרם ברוך, שהספר תורה הזה יגן עליכם, ילך איתכם בעזה.
As we know, there are pro-Palestinian protests all around the world. Anti-Semitism is spiking through the roof, and people are afraid. Check out the airport right before a flight from France to Israel.
אני הייתי בהרבה טיסות לפריז, מפריז. זה כזה, עוד לא ראיתי בחיים. שימו לב.
It's a sign of the times when, in a time of war like the one we're experiencing now, people are still coming in droves and moving to Eretz Israel. Okay, and now without further ado, we go to Washington, D.C., and we visit with Michael Gerbitz on the scene at the White House.
Hey JP, it's Michael here. Sorry I can't be with you in Israel today, but today is an unbelievable day. We're here in Washington, D.C. Here's the White House. There's an incredible rally going on at the mall. We're going to be there in a moment. Hundreds of thousands of people are here today in Washington to show support for Israel, to show support for the captives, to try and help release the captives, and to fight against anti-Semitism. I'm going to go around and ask a bunch of people why you are here today. What message do you have for the entire world? What is your message to the world?
Jews have all come together of all types, all across the spectrum, and we just feel this connection like brothers.
Stand with our elected officials here in the United States. We want to make sure that they are aware, that we are aware, that they are standing behind us steadfast. We're here as Americans, we're here as Jews. Israel. Support our Israeli brothers and sisters.
Bring home the hostages. Keep the hostages home, safe and sound and soon. On Israel's side.
Grandson Idan Alexander got captured in Gaza. They're hoping and we're all praying for the return.
We stand with Israel. We need to stand with Israel. We need to stay strong on Israel.
No matter what happens to us, we will live on.
How peaceful and lovely, this whole event is.
Here's
Omer is a warm,
a mother of Omer,
and people-loving
speaking to the crowd, talking about her son who is a
Everywhere
captive
he goes,
in Gaza.
He immediately makes new friends. He is this big guy, 6'2", always with a smile on his face. In some ways, Omer grew up like any other kid on Long Island. He is truly a member of this wonderful Jewish community. He's crazy about sports, any sports, but he especially loves basketball. He was always a leader. Whether the captain of his high school, the Schechter School of Long Island, or the regional president of his youth group, USY. He is also a dual citizen of both the United States and Israel, and was raised with a love and a passion for both of his homelands. So naturally, after graduating high school, he decided to take a gap year in Israel to connect with his roots. And the closer he grew to his new Israeli friends, the more he reflected on his own identity. As a descendant of Holocaust survivors on both sides, he understood the importance of a strong Israel. Bring Omer and all of the hostages home now!
We want to get close to God. We want to get close to each other. We want to see peace amongst ourselves in the whole world. 240 hostages being held. They represent 33 different countries. And truth, only 2 countries are really doing anything about it.
Undeniable support for Israel. Fight the anti-Semitism.
Will not back down.
Our brothers and sisters.
We love our brothers and sisters. We like to buy candles. It brings in more light into the world. Okay, bring our candles. We won't stop until Moshiach is revealed. Stand as one nation waiting for the Geulah Shalema.
It doesn't need to be political to share in my grief or in the anguish that the Israeli people are feeling. To demand the release of the hostages is not an act of politics, nor is it a cry for war. It is an act of love and a cry for humanity. And love is the only thing that can repair our shattered hearts and bring us back together in the name of peace. Thank you. Of Hirsch Goldberg, Poland, a wounded civilian American Israeli kidnapped from the music festival on October 7th. Right now, how we are living is hard to describe to you. We hostage families have lived the last 39 days in slow motion torment. For 38 nights, none of us have slept the real sleep of the before. We all have third-degree burns on our souls. Our hearts are bruised and seeping with misery. But the real soul's suffering are those of the hostages. And they want to ask everyone in the world, all the screamers, the indifferent, the experts, the academics, the knowledgeable, the passives, the perfectly outraged, the righteous, the indignant, the haters, the leaders, the lovers, the every single one of us. Why? Why is the world accepting that 240 human beings from almost 30 countries have been stolen and buried alive? These children of God range in age from 9 months to 87 years. They are Christians, Muslims, Jews, Buddhists, and Hindu.
Just hope that things will get better. Raising the flags here in the middle of Washington.
It's heartwarming to see everybody here.
It doesn't need to be political to share in my grief or in the anguish that the Israeli people are feeling.
Progress. Michael, how are you doing? It's so good to see you.
Hey, JP, how you doing? Can't wait to get back to Israel. I got another day here, but it was amazing. Yesterday was an amazing, amazing day, and the feeling of unity like we have in Israel was quite palpable here in the United States too. 300,000 people showed up in Washington, people from literally all over the country. You name a state, name a city, there was somebody there. It was such a beautiful event. You call it a protest demonstration, but there was no hatred, no violence, no ripping down signs, no saying to destroy anybody. It was just what we call a Kiddush Hashem, a beautiful sanctification of God's name, as opposed to our enemies, the pro-Hamas rallies. You know what those rallies are like: anti-American, anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic, anti-everything. This rally was pro, and the feeling there was just so refreshing and so beautiful. Shows really the difference between us and our enemies.
What are a couple of stories, anecdotal stories that really impacted you?
Well, one thing was that everybody was so friendly. You know, I was expecting all kinds of counter demonstrations and flags and people yelling and screaming and maybe even violence. I don't know. Everyone was saying, be careful. Why are you going to D.C.? It's going to be crazy. I didn't see one counter demonstration. I didn't see any Palestinian demonstrations, anything, any hatred. I didn't see anything. And of the 300,000 people that were there, I don't think there was one incident of anything whatsoever. And that just really blew me away. I'll tell you a little something funny. As my wife and I were making our way from the White House to the mall near the Capitol where the rally was, we had to cross. There was a march going one direction perpendicular, and we had to literally cross right through it. And from a distance, we saw these black, green and red flags. We were convinced this was a major Palestinian counter protest. And my wife was like, "We're not going through that line." You know, I was like, "No, yes, we are. Let's just see what they have to say. I don't know, just you know, we got to get to the rally. So if they're in the way, we're just gonna walk through. We're not gonna try to cause trouble." As we got closer and closer, we saw that it was actually the flag of the Colombians. There was a Colombian march, and they were marching for something, I don't know why, but it wasn't Palestinians. And we walked right through, and they smiled at us, we smiled at them. So all's well that ends well. But the friendly feeling, and if I have to tell you, in the hotel, everyone was super friendly. The taxi drivers, the people on the street, everyone was just, you know, carrying Israeli flags. I was wearing my yarmulke, and just positive feedback. So my feeling is that there's not so many people out there. There are plenty that hate us, but it's really a minority. You know, we think it's like, you know, the whole United States is turning against us. That's not true at all. Our experience in D.C. was very positive, and I think we have a lot more support than I think people realize.
I saw you walking around with your phone, and you sent us some footage. What are some of the more interesting conversations that you had with people?
Yeah, we were looking for all kinds of people, interesting and regular, if you want to say. So there were these two guys that were Hindus, and they had this sign, you know, Hindus support Israel. So I got to spend a minute or two with them and hear their perspective on what's going on. And they just wanted to show their support, you know, for what's right and wrong. And it's really, you know, it comes down to it. It's as simple as that. You know, there's good and there's evil. I think it's clear. It should be clear to the whole world. Good always wins out. It was just refreshing to see those guys there. So that was kind of cool.
Michael, I saw some video of the prayers in the morning outside the White House with Barry Weber. And by the way, one of the photos you sent me, the one with the guy lifting the Torah scroll, I've been seeing it making its way around LinkedIn. You got to watermark this stuff, buddy. But tell us, what was it like davening outside the White House there? I saw you guys were facing east. Not the White House, but facing east towards Jerusalem. Tell us about that.
That's right. I don't think we need to pray to the White House. We maybe should pray for the White House. But it was an absolutely amazing experience. I have to tell you, hundreds and hundreds of Jews early in the morning praying, you know, in the place where we know there's influence there. And just the singing, we were dancing, singing, felt like a wedding. It was just so inspiring. And yes, I took that iconic photo, taking some video, then he started going around. I said, and I snapped a few pictures, and yes, it went quite viral. I don't think the credit was given, but that's okay. We'll get credit in the next world for putting out such a beautiful, beautiful photo. So it was an amazing experience. JP, you got to join me next time. I hope there is no next time. I hope the world's going to realize who's good, who's evil, and we don't need these demonstrations.
It's possible that maybe those hundreds of thousands of people might join us in Israel. The way things are going, you never know. Crazy times.
I'll tell you one thing, there were 300,000 people there. Just get another 300,000 souls, and we can create the unity that existed when the Jewish people received the Torah on Mount Sinai. And I think what's going on now in Israel, the palpability of that unity is we're heading there. We're heading towards this monumental event of absolute pure unity among the Jewish people wherever they are around the world. It was an amazing event yesterday.
It's beautiful that you were there to sort of bring some of the unity that we're feeling here over to the United States Jewish community. And it sounds like really a remarkable, inspiring experience. Nice to see that the whole Jewish world is connected and unified, standing with Israel, fighting for Israel, fighting against anti-Semitism. And we look forward to your speedy return here. And safe travels, Michael.
Thank you so much.
Okay, friends, thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe at InsideIsrael.net. Next week we'll be in studio, and we look forward to visiting with you then. Stay safe, and God bless.